Welcome. I'm Dr. David J. Hastings, Dean of Habitology University, and host for this 9th 23 Secret Keys to Way Better Your Life, Dr. David Talks WayBetternar. Titled 23 Keys Relating 201, it's fresh revelations, continued disclosure of unique and immediately usable relationship keys that are focused on soaring individual and interpersonal living conditions to awesome. The previous WayBetternar, entitled 23 Keys Relating 101, presented a unique relationship desiderata. Underlined in that desiderata was its value points. And its value points are not must-dos, but instead are purposed as discussion points to be mutually evaluated regarding their applicability to your particular partnership situation. Thus, whether either getting to know someone or evolving intimacy, optimum outcome flourishes in a bombardment sphere that enables the joyful sharing of ideas, opinions, objectives, hopes, dreams, and so forth, whose involvement everyone feels understood and appreciated for their contributions. As partner discussions will be used to evaluate the relationship desiderata between people, value points presented in the previous WayBetternar, important is to understand that relationship partners' grasp of the substantial differences between conversation and communication modes is critical. So generally, whereas the accepted protocols for conversation are open-ended or variably interactive with few requirements, communication protocols are not. So conversation types are many, from habitual salutations to partner hellos and goodbyes to larger group chatter, gossip, or banter in hallways and at parties and during coffee breaks and so on and so forth. Characteristically, conversation mode does not have a designated sender, the one talking, or receivers, the ones listening, but instead these roles organically and interactively rotate throughout each member of the group as all are connecting and participating and generally having fun. In conversation mode, as no one is intent on making a value point, one is absolutely free to pop in and pop out of the conversation, introduce other topics, drop in short unrelated comments, interrupt, overtalk, and such. Typically, as long as those verbalizations do not totally disrupt, one is not rejected. Conversational mode is distinguishable by several dynamics: rapid changeovers of sender and receiver, multiple topics going on at one time, sometimes even simultaneously, and variable time frames for its continuation or ending. Contrastingly, though, communication mode is instead characterized by a single sender who desires to convey value points to multiple receivers in a fixed time frame. Much like these WayBetternars, actually, conversation mode is thus a mass participation model likened to a sing-along, where one is free to participate, whether they know the words or not. Consequently, as long as all involved agree by default, pretty much, to conversation flow, few issues arise, such as frustration or hurt feelings, due to feeling ignored or disregarded. Very differently, communications have only a single sender who is intent on delivering one or more value points to a receiver or receivers. For instance, lectures keynote speeches, and the like fall into this category, as do partners' want and need declarations. Thus, due to their extreme protocol variances, if one partner desires to communicate value points and the other thinks it's a conversation, no doubt there will be a collision that will result in potentially enormous upset. When verbal interaction protocols are mutually understood and practiced, however, one's relationships will be dramatically enhanced because joyful and inclusive participation will spirit mutual respect and a sense of importance and significance, each to the other. A key: everyone likes to be appreciated and acknowledged for the gifts they bring to the relationship. Everyone. In habitology lingo, WayBetternars are designed to assist creating beneficial communication pro-habits while dismantling destructive miscommunication chaos habits. Now, communication is easily possible by applying the following 3 keys and 1 technique. First, seek to understand, then be understood. Let's repeat that. First, seek to understand, and then be understood. Next, be aware that hearing is not the same as listening. And finally, realize that listening is a gift of loving. The following technique will ensure communication does not easily flip into chaos. Mutually select a small object, which I call a communication token. The token is held by the sender when communicating. Remember, for the communicator, short 1 minute to 2 minute presentations, then pass to the receiver, who then, of course, becomes the sender. But the important point is the receiver's only task is to listen to the sender. Important is the notable distinction between hearing and listening. Now, hearing, as we have learned from previous WayBetternars, is a sensory array capability, whereas listening is an acquired pro-habit skill. Beneficial communication pro-habits include engaged listening, inclusionary communication, suitable proximity and body language, appropriate eye contact, attentiveness, recognition, validation, clarification, questioning when it's applicable in your time frame, respectful sender presentation sizing, again about 1 to 2 minutes, contributing applicable feedback and clarification, and so on and so forth. Destructive communication chaos habits include interrupting or attempting to, talking over, me too type statements, exclusionary behaviors, posturing diversions, topic shifts, fidgeting, disinterest, walking away, looking away, negative body language, assumptive thinking, concurrently engaging in another activity like answering the phone, disastrous. Another key, interrupting is a chaos habit that quickly wounds relationships. Respectful listening is not just about receiving the sender's noise, but necessitates focused listening, which is coined focal, F-O-C-L, all capitals. Focal is essential for the couple group and each participant to get what they truly want. Focused listening allows the sender to fully disclose their value point before the receiver initiates any type of micro-solutioning. Micro-solutioning is defined as mentally starting a response before the sender has finished speaking. Focused listening, in other words, without mental and or physical interruption, is a powerful relationship builder. This is because its application enables the receiver to fully capture the sender's proposition, which in turn causes the sender to feel valuable. Cognitive or mental interruption occurs when, during sender delivery, the receiver is actively microassessing what is being said, which consequently interrupts listening, which thus results in the receiver missing the value point of the communication. So, the interruption chaos habit is earmarked by the receiver making statements like, "I don't think I heard you quite right," or "Could you say that again?" In other words, when the receiver microanalyzes snippets of the sender's progressive communication, segments of the sender's communication will be unprocessed. Same reason we try to keep it short, 1 to 2 minutes. This is because as focal engages most of mind self's neural resources, simultaneously, if you try to do focused listening and microanalyze, you can't because they are mutually exclusive. Importantly, as part listening can only result in part understanding, this is not useful for enhancing relationships. Relationship enhancement is best served by focused listening, focal. Clearly, either physical interruption or speaking during the sender's communication is rude, diminishing, devaluing, and thus unacceptable. As such, these chaos habits effectively not only disrupt the sender's train of thought, but also diminish love and belonging, initiate frustrations, and can cause breakups if sustained for longer periods of time. Focal pro habits include respectful attention, acceptance to allow the sender full topic presentation, absence of assumptive thinking, microassessments, and micro-conclusions, and when the sender has concluded, applicable questioning to enhance understanding. The next WayBetternar will continue conversation and communication mode discussions, as well as explain what is attraction, how does one choose their partner. We'll introduce a lobster fork relationship model, which you'll find very fascinating, and a couples relationship decacon, which explains how and why couples interact on so many different levels. And besides that, there will be much, much more. Your feedback is always appreciated, of course, so interact and contribute by sending an email to drdavidtalks.wbyl, again, Way Better Your Life, @gmail.com, with the reference ID below only, please, in the subject line. So the reference ID for this 9th Dr. David Talks WayBetternar just watched is capital S01, capital M03, capital T02. Until next WayBetternar, stay safe. And thank you for your time. It is much, much appreciated.